How should one deal with others who repeatedly wrongs them? How should one deal with others who repeatedly wrongs them? This can be a very difficult situation to handle. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his teachings are clear that the first option when people harm us or wrong us, the best option is forgiveness and pardon. But Islam did not come to teach us to turn the other cheek, right? The religion or the Sharia of Nabi Isa alayhi salatu wasalam taught we turn the other cheek. Islam teaches just retribution. So under certain circumstances where harm is done that is considered by a judiciary as harm, as legislated harm, this is harm and it needs to be retributed, meaning this person who caused the harm needs to be punished, then this process should be taken up with the court, right? A proper court should deal with such processes. And in situations where there is no formal court, one cannot take the law into one's own hand, but one needs to refer to a suitable authority. As for in one's personal life, when somebody harms you or wrongs you, the default is to forgive, the default is to overlook. But when this becomes problematic in that they are now taking advantage of you or they are hurting you repeatedly, you should not, nor does Islam ask of you to accept it and just, allow it to happen because it's okay, you just need to forgive. No. You need to put a solid stop to that. You need to say no. You need to take the matter up with authorities, and you need to ensure that both your rights and the rights of this person, because the Prophet ﷺ said, "Unsur akhaka," help your brother, ظالما أو مظلوما, whether it is the oppressor or the one being oppressed. How do you help the oppressor? You help the oppressor by assisting him to stop his oppression. So if somebody is wronging you and you cannot put an end to it yourself because the person is perhaps stronger than you or in a higher authority than you are, then you appeal to somebody who is even stronger or an even higher authority so as to put an end to that. But take the necessary steps and do not be content with injustice, even if it is injustice that is acted against yourself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make things easy for you and bring you out of that difficulty. Unfortunately, people think that dhulm or oppression is limited to the likes of Fir'aun or to the tyrannical, oppressive rulers of the world. No, oppression can take place in any circumstance when somebody who is in a position of power abuses somebody who is in a position lesser than that. And they use their power to silence an individual or to repress a group of people or a specific person because they exact their authority on them and they oppress them in this manner. This is dhulm, right? This is absolute oppression. And the Prophet ﷺ warned us, be careful of the dua of the mazloom, because there's no hijab, there's no barrier between the oppressed person and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even if that oppressed person is a disbeliever. So be very, very careful of the rights of others. Just in the question before this, we spoke about huququllah and huququl ibad. And most Muslims would first and foremost give their attention to ensuring the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's good. It should be so. But unfortunately, this sometimes comes at the expense of the rights of others, meaning that you have many cases of people becoming ritualistically pious or ritualistically religious. But as far as the dealings with others are concerned, there you don't see the religion having any impact or any effect. And this is highly problematic because Islam and your faith is really dependent on your akhlaq and your character with others, which is how you treat others. So in this question as to how one should deal with somebody who keeps on wronging you and keeps on harming you, you have to take this factor into consideration, right? That their outward acts of worship may not be having an impact on their character, but it is the character that is really the signpost as to the person's true metal, the person's true worth. The Prophet ﷺ said, Akmalul mu'minina imanan, the believers who have the most perfect faith are those who ahsanuhum khuluqa, are those who have the best character. وَخِيَارُكُمْ خِيَارُكُمْ لِنِسَائِهِمْ, and the best of you are those who are best to their wives. So one should turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make dua that Allah changes this person's heart, and turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove one from that oppression and from that difficulty, because no one should be facing that type of dhulm. Wallahu subhanahu wa ta'ala a'lam.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.